fix these holes where the plugs went through in the RV. We're going to show you how we did it. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Yacht Shop Creation channel and part 3 of the ambulance to RV conversion. I'll apologize in advance. I've missed you all. We haven't been putting out videos for a little bit, kind of got behind, but we've had other things that we've been doing, and you can follow us on Instagram or Twitter and learn about some of those things. We will try to keep my ugly mutt in front of y'all's faces, and we'll go through some stuff. But today what we're going to do is I need to fill these external tap holes where the power used to go into the unit from outside. Now I'm just over 6 feet tall, so where these plugs plugged into the side of the unit, quite high. So you normally have your plug coming up and then you had to reach up there to do it. Now right now the airbags are flat on the ambulance, so you can imagine how high this is when it actually has air in the airbags. It gets quite a bit, considerably higher. We don't want these, the long point of the story. We're going to take them off. But I prefer not to weld onto the outside because you know the problem with heat distortion and everything. We are going to do a really cool paint scheme on here, and I just don't want to burn up the paint. And if you're plugging these on your ambulance deal, I'm going to show you a way to do it that's no welding, but will actually guarantee that when you do paint, you won't see where you actually painted. So the first thing I need to do is clean off any of the residue that's left there. So let me get started on that. Little squirrels inside, and they're holding a piece of plywood up against the piece for me. So what we're going to do is trace out that piece of plywood. Now it's all nice and clean. Let's do the other hole. Okay, that's good. Need one measurement. Tell me how thick the aluminum is. And the aluminum measures 144 thousandths. Good. Now let's go on to the next part. I'll be happy when my LASIK surgery is done and I can wear really cool safety glasses instead of grandpa glasses. But let's get going with this. So I got the little bandsaw set up. You got the cutouts in the plywood. Okay, with these two parts made now, I have my aluminum that I'm going to use. Fill the blanks up. You'll notice they're just sized enough so that I can still use the screw holes later. And then this one's for here. And that's what we want to make. So these will get glued on from the inside. But I will show you how they're going to fill the void up now. We're going to set this up. We're going to double-sided tape these on. This one actually goes on here. You need to sort of center it up. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we need it to line up with the screw holes. So we want to put it close to center. And this one's going to get glued on here. Then we're going to take the table saw and we're going to trim a little bit of the excess material away to make it easier for the router to cut what I need out, climb the router into a whole bunch of aluminum if I don't have to. So the table saw is just going to take some of the material off for us and make it a little nicer. The table saw is set up to take a lot of the material off to make it easier to route with. So only do this if you're comfortable with your table saw. Okay, so you can see now that that's taken off about 75 thousandths to make it a lot easier for the router to work. I have to go down to this, has to go right to about 100 thousandths, so I need to take 46 thousandths more off this plate, take a lot less material off with that. You and me are here again, getting ready for nothing at all. We pick our clothes up off the floor. Putting a little bit of blaster on the aluminum, trying to keep it from sticking. I have to do that inadvertently as we go along, but you can see I have a lot less aluminum to take off. Remember, I want this plate to be at 100 thousandths. We made the rules, now let's break them. Let's take the high road home. Why don't you come along? I know that we can make it. We pack our things and leave tonight, and everything will be alright. We'll take the high road home. Okay, so those are nice and rough, and just what we want. So let's see how they fit. That one for that hole. Nice. Now we'll marine text those in place, hold them where they're supposed to be. Now you have a nice solid filler without any welding. So let's get set up. We'll marine text them in, hold them until the marine text dries so they don't fall out like that.
I know that we can make it. We pack our things and leave tonight, and everything will be alright.
I'm going to be able to clean out around the screw holes, not get it all over the truck. And I want to just sand the edges a little bit, make sure the marine text hooks to the aluminum really well. It's raw aluminum on the inside, so it will hook real well to there. Okay, so we're using some gray marine text, which has a little bit of a catalyst with it. This is the product. It does come in a white tube, but it's gray in color. I like the gray better than the white for this application. So we're going to need a bit of it. We'll get a pretty good amount out. Add our catalyst to it. We're going to put it directly on and make sure you mix it up really thoroughly. I like to get it started with a stick, and then I'll finish it off with a putty knife. That should be enough to do the whole job. Put this right around here. I have a nice liberal coat. Take off the excess, save it for the other plate. Okay, that one's set up. All right, we're ready to put them in. She's already got the board set in place, and there's a third hand to press it against the inside of the ambulance. Beautiful, sits nice.
I know that we can make it. We pack our things and leave.
Basically using the third hand or push arm, so press that right up against the side of the... Okay, now I'm making sure that all the voids are filled and everything's smoothed over real nice. Okay, for right now I'm just filling all of the holes in, but later I'm going to use those as reference points. I'm going to go drill and tap for machine screws to go in there and make sure that the plate never moves, just as backup or overkill. And you see why I taped up everything. So that worked out really good. Now we'll pull the tape. A lot less cleaning that way. Use a little bit of alcohol. Okay, well that looks good. Marine text has to dry now, and then we'll drill and tap and put some machine screws in the pre-existing holes. Pretty happy with the way that came out. It's aluminum on aluminum held together with marine text, so shouldn't have any problem with doing the paint work over the top of it. We hope you like this video. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe if you like us. Keep up with this. We'll have video 4 coming out shortly. Make something cool, and we'll talk to you all soon. Be well.